Everybody, welcome to my channel, Be Free Now with Maria. So today I'm going to start out with this deck, The Four Agreements by Del Miguel Ruiz. I shuffled the deck. I'm going to choose the card on top and, ooh, pretty. The card says, ooh, interesting too, become immune to poison. And let's see, the message is the whole world can gossip about you. And if you don't take it personally, you are immune. Immunity to poison in the middle of hell is the gift of the second agreement. Ooh, I love that. So become immune to poison. You know, people, yes, gossip, right? It's almost like, it happens so frequent, it's almost like a way of life. People don't even sometimes even think of themselves, as gossiping, because it's kind of like a social thing, right? But when we find out that someone is gossiping about us, we tend to get very offended and very upset. And we sometimes forget, right, that we have also been that person who has said some stuff about someone else, because we don't tend to see ourselves as a gossip, but we tend to see ourselves as good, inherently good in some way. And we take offense, but we forget, right, that we too may do the same stuff. So it makes me think of the importance of being compassionate with ourselves and being compassionate with other people. In other words, making room and allowing ourselves to be human and making that room for other people, right? Because when we do, then we're able to forgive them for that gossip, and that action that they took that offended us in some way. And that doesn't mean that, it should feel good to us. It means that we are able to pull back and to look at it through objective lens, as opposed to, oh my God, I can't believe, and get really caught up in the intensity of that emotional state because we're so upset or so offended. And the reality is, right, that most of us have done that at some point and some time in our lives, even if we try to refrain from it or don't practice it as much or don't do it anymore. Doesn't mean that we've never done it. And it's important to step back, because if not, we're going to personalize and we're going to get caught up in a story that's going to feel more poisonous than the gossip itself. In other words, if we create this negative emotion, right, these negative feelings for ourselves, then we start to inhabit that poison. It starts to live within us. And in order to be able to not create such a dynamic, right, we want to separate from that. We want to stand back. We want to look at this more objectively. And that's not always something that's easy to do, but it's something that is worth considering and maybe trying to practice, because it frees us from getting poisoned by that gossip. And the other thing is, how we view ourselves. It's very important, because when we view ourselves as something positive, right? Or we think of ourselves in a positive light. When someone gossips about us, yes, it may not feel good, but we also will not take it as personal, because we don't necessarily agree. When we feel yucky about ourselves and somebody gossips about us and says something that, we subconsciously agree with, it's going to be even harder for us to be detached from it or to try to separate from it, because we actually subconsciously believe it. So that's important also. So if there's something that's being said about us or something that doesn't feel good, then, we want to kind of sit with that, as opposed to what they said and everything that surrounds, that other person. Really more trying to bring the focus back to ourselves and why it's triggering us, because that's where we are going to be able to learn about the way we perceive ourselves and make some changes there. And last but not least, I do want to say, and actually I just thought about it, I want to pick a word from my bag of words, but I also do want to say that, whenever we're around people who are gossiping a lot, we're also going to lower our frequency. In other words, we're going to also lower our mood, because wherever there's a lot of gossip, there's a lot of toxicity, and that's going to bring us down in mood. But like I said, I do want to pick a card from my bag of words. So Let's see. Ooh, resentment. Perfect. Right? Because that's a yucky feeling, but it is something that we tend to feel when we find out someone is saying something negative about us, gossiping, and so forth, all gossiping about somebody that we love, and so forth. So resentment, it is something that's going to build, and that is not where we want to live and spend our time. So if we're being triggered, we want to learn about why we're being triggered and focus on that as much as we can. Now, like I said, this isn't always easy, so we do the best that we can, and we can show ourselves compassion with that as well. But ultimately, right, we want to get to that point where we're really trying to refocus ourselves back on ourselves. And the more we do that, we can expand compassion within ourselves and then extend that out to other people and even contemplate the possibility of forgiveness. All right, I'm going to end with that. I hope that this video helps you in some way. If it did, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel so that you can be notified when I upload further videos. All right, bye for now.